Simple, soft, and once you make your own, you may never look at store-bought tortillas the same again. Hello shepherds, welcome back, and if you're new here, hello! This is where we talk all things sheepy. My name's Megan, and today we're giving that classic flour-based tortillas a sheepy, homegrown twist. So for today, we'll need 1½ cups or 212 grams of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt or 2 grams, 1½ teaspoons or 7 grams of baking powder, 3 tablespoons or 40 grams of an oil, fats. In my case, I'm using some sheep ghee, as well as half a cup or around 106 grams of water. This is a pretty simple recipe, but it's not quite the dump recipe. So when using our fats, I'm using our sheep ghee. It really lends this beautiful nutty and buttery flavor to our tortillas, but really any oil or other melted fats would work well. Just keep in mind the flavor impact on the final tortilla. So to start, let's soften our ghee by gently warming it. It doesn't need to be fully melted, just mostly, and then in a bowl, we're gonna go ahead and add our flour. I like to make a well in the center because in the next step, if you don't, it can really mess up the batter in terms of final texture. Next, let's add our water in the center. Some will spill out and that's okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and pour our ghee into our water and then gently mix together our flour into our water and ghee. This is because if we mix the ghee and water together in a separate dry or wet step separately, it can create these ghee clumps, and this really minimizes all those clumps from occurring and spreading that buttery goodness evenly throughout the dough. And just like when maybe you've ever made some pasta dough, slowly yet surely we're incorporating our flour into our wet. It will look really wet at first, but then it gets shaggy. And if there's some dry bits near the end of the mix, but it's not something to worry about because we're gonna leave all of those bits behind to hydrate. Now let's go ahead and cover our bowl with a dish to keep our dough hydrated. And let our dough rest and soak up all that extra dry flour for about 15 minutes. If when we come back and it's still true dry, we can add maybe a teaspoon or 2 of water. But right now, it's okay if there's dry bits. Also, because it's going to be sticky later on as we work out, it will firm up and pick up some more flour from our rolling out process. Okay, so now it's been 15 minutes that have passed, so it's time to shape our dough. We want to divide it into 8 pieces, and I'm using a canvas rolling mat that's preloaded with flour. It really helps to make sure whatever surface you're using is well floured. And also, let's go ahead and preheat our pan. I'm using a dry, seasoned cast iron skillet, and this part goes really fast. So let's go ahead and shape our dough into little balls. This will really help in making those round shapes later on. And when rolling out, I like to pat mine into more of a hockey puck shape and then start rolling out from the center, radiating out to different parts. And if it starts sticking to my rolling pin, I just like to dust a little bit more flour. It can go quite fast, and I like to really roll these guys incredibly thin, almost paper thin, but it will puff up a lot as it cooks. Okay, so now that this one's ready, let's go ahead and pop our raw tortilla onto our hot pan and start rolling our other tortillas in the same manner. But let's go ahead and watch our tortilla as it's starting to cook. You know it's time to flip when the tortilla is just starting to form little bubbles all around. My kids like the tortillas a little bit lighter. I like them when the bubbles are browned. For the softest tortillas, it helps to cook them lightly, but thoroughly. So maybe around 20 to 30 seconds per side about. Sometimes I cook it and then flip it one more time and then it's time to go. And then let's go ahead and add it to our stack. I want to save some of my appetite for dinner, so I'm going to cut this tortilla in half and then fill it with some fresh sheepy mozzarella. I'm just heating this up enough to melt the cheese and then it's ready. It's gooey, and there's a little bit of yellow from the rind in there from the drying out in our non-cheese fridge. It's fun, buttery, soft, but also really filling too. So there you have it, a meal in under 30 minutes, and all from scratch. Let me know, do you ever have Taco Tuesdays? Or in this case, it's technically Friday, but that's okay. What kind of fun meal traditions do you enjoy on those really busy nights? Let me know in the comments. And if you've made it this far, an extra special thank you. I appreciate you. And if you've enjoyed diving into the sheepy side of the dairy world, hit that subscribe button and the bell. We explore a sheep-focused lifestyle every week. Ta-tas.
Where is he?